You know how crazy it is just the fact that we've lived like at least consciously through the like early 2000s. Like that was probably our like childhood technically.
Mm-hmm.
So like most kids don't even know like how to do with a flip phone before.
Oh yeah, that's literally
that was just like us specifically.
Hello everyone, welcome to Neon Apes episode 33. It has been a long time. We've gone through a lot. We went to war. We got drafted.
Yeah, World War III.
World War
Thought it was
III.
going to be 2020. Happened now.
Yeah, and no, but I don't know. We're starting off strong again here, but I guess we'll do introductions. I guess that's a thing. My name's Holden, otherwise known as Time to Grind.
My name's Daniel, otherwise known as Not Daniel.
I'm Matthew, also known as Sutter.
And yeah, so just long story short, I guess. First thing we had a whole COVID scare thing that I think we talked about last time.
I got COVID.
Yeah,
it wasn't a scare. I fucking got it.
Well, me and Matthew got a scare, I guess. But why don't you tell us like firsthand, kind of?
I was pretty lucky. I got kind of a mild case, and yeah, I recovered. Spent 2 weeks not making money, which kind of sucked, but that's okay. Yeah, it kind of sucked.
Yeah, and I know like a lot of our friends as well. It was like a whole thing. Like I know you got it, and then one of your roommates,
Aaron got it, and then I think Savannah got it.
Yeah.
Well.
So yeah, so that happened, and then right after that, Texas. Well, I guess kind of everybody in the U.S. had that whole snowstorm.
But we were the worst prepared for it by far.
We gotta have our own power grid here in Texas. That's gotta have no government regulations, and surprise, surprise. A lot of people died because I mean, it was crazy. No, because I mean, like some people didn't have power. Some people didn't have water. I know like we here at this apartment got pretty lucky because we had power and water every day except like one of the days, and we had like rolling blackouts. But I can't remember. Did you guys like lose power at all?
No.
Nah.
Fire alarm went off.
It didn't go off for like a whole day.
Not a whole day. It just went off for a while. But like it was like in the middle of like the worst part of that. And I was like, I do not want to be outside right now. I was really tempted just to stay in. I guess it was during the week, but we were all working from home as much as we could because half the people at my company were like, yeah, my internet's not on. Dude, one of my one of my coworkers, We're your employees.
What?
We're your employees.
Yeah, when the fuck are you gonna pay us, by the way?
I got some dollar bills somewhere, but
we've been working for you over a year. This man is holding us hostage. He hasn't paid us. He doesn't mean to.
It actually has been.
He just claims he's taking it off our student loans.
I'm just hoping that student loan debt gets canceled, and then I can be like, "See, I did it. I paid you guys." But so one of my coworkers, she's a little bit like older of a lady. She's super nice, and she lost electricity the entire week. She lost power. Or water the entire week, even afterwards, so she couldn't go to the bathroom, she couldn't take a shower or anything like that. She then went to the store to go buy water because you need water to live. The store got robbed, and as like the robber was running, the robber shoved her down to the ground. So then she goes to a different store, tries to buy water. Someone steals the water out of her hand.
This is the plot of a stoner comedy.
Oh my god! Oh, and
where, like, it takes place in a day, and you're like, I gotta go to the store. You just happened to get robbed, apparently.
Yeah. And cherry on top was her entire bedroom and closet got flooded because the person above her pipes burst.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Alright, I hope the rest of her life is just fucking blessed.
Oh, I know.
I feel like she used all her bad luck up.
Like that, I mean, you gotta just like, she needs to buy like a lottery ticket or something. Like, be like, I'm giving you an opportunity to like,
yeah, just like
make it up to me.
Even out the luck a tiny bit.
Yeah, and so, Those all happened, and obviously we've all just been crazy busy. But we're finally back. We're still in. We're making this studio a lot better. I do think that this is a huge improvement over the last one me and Matthew did. So this room normally, I just want to say, is super cool because we have like a neon red light or pink light over there. And me and Matthew were like, mainly me, we were like, oh, it'd be so cool if we just used that as our main lighting. And we were using like a crappy webcam, and like, surprise, surprise, it if it was a real nice webcam, I think it would look good, or like if it was a nice camera, but there just wasn't enough light, so it looked like we filmed that with like a McDonald's Happy Meal toy or something like that. Like, I don't know.
And we were trying what someone would think of as good lighting in a movie.
Yeah, like some like artistic like.
You just can't see anything.
Like they filmed it dark and then color corrected it to be even fucking darker.
I was laughing my ass off. I don't know if it was it was a post on Reddit of it was like, this is how you watch what's her name? Suspiria, from this like one Italian guy. Like this famous movie, and this is how you truly watch it, and it's just like the movie on like one of those Shrek like shitty like it was like a Shrek remote on like the same TV toys, and was watching like this like niche movie, and like this is the true way to watch. I love movie Circle Jerk.
Oh my god,
Circle Jerk is amazing.
Well, especially because there's so many movie reviewers who make a point to be as pretentious as possible.
Every time something dumb happens in a movie, they just eat it up, and it's true. Maybe sometimes I don't go there all the time, but like, oh my god, when the trailer came out for the Snyder cut of the Justice League movie, and Joker fucking says, we live in a society, like verbatim, like the subreddit just like.
Wait, so I have a
I
genuine
can
question.
see that making it implode.
For like, I keep seeing all like the Schneider cut or whatever. Is that just like a re-edit of like the movie?
Okay. So
what is that?
Zack Snyder.
Oh, I thought you were saying Schneider, like Dan Schneider.
No, you're talking about the fucking pedophile. No.
Yeah.
The guy who did like Carly and stuff. No, don't worry about him. But
yeah, no. Back to the
was,
Snyder cut.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. Right? It's a whole other thing. Snyder. So Zack Snyder was making this Justice League movie. He's infamous for making like Man of Steel and the Batman vs Superman. It's
Which,
very
if I remember
edgy.
right, weren't the best, right?
No, they're just overtly like he's known for making 300, which is like this cool.
Oh yeah, I remember
super
that.
like masculine, like really well shot thing, and that's awesome because it's just an action like shonen thing.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, I can say I've seen Swift and everything. But on the other hand, Justice League is just like it's like comic books, and like you can do edgy comics. You can do whatever you want.
Oh yeah.
But like. It's just not good. It's just dumb. It's just
so. But didn't the Justice League already come out though? That's what I'm saying. So is it like him just taking all the footage and re-editing it to what he wants?
He made I'm a little distracted.
No, it's all good.
There's a lot going on here. So he was making Justice League.
Okay.
Trying to connect the whole universe. They did the wonderful thing of doing Justice League first and then doing the origin stories afterwards. So we're starting with he's directing it. Family tragedy. I think his daughter died by suicide or something, so he stopped making the movie.
Geez.
That's a sucky thing. Very terrible thing to happen. So he stops making the movie. Movie comes out. Turns out, what do you know? It's dog shit. But the Snyder fans that actually like the other two movies swear that like
if he got a chance to like make it the way he wanted,
and for so long people were like release the Snyder cut. People were like it doesn't exist. He like left half like he probably they weren't even like probably done like starting.
Oh yeah.
Like or. Apparently there was some sort of film, but like, you know, it had to be finished by someone else. But apparently they're fucking doing it, and they're showing a recut version, and there's like dark sides in it apparently, and fucking Joker's in it, who was never in the movie in the first place. So like, what the?
So yeah, because that makes me wonder. Like, is this like a whole publicity thing, or like was the Joker actually in it, but then like it got cut?
Right, the Joker is saying
guy.
we live in a society has to be a
private publicity thing.
The only reason they're doing this is because people talked about the Snyder cut in the first place. They probably just gave it up on it. They were already making other DC movies, but they're going back now.
That's like, that kind of reminds me of like the Sonic movie. Cause like I remember there was so much outrage. Everyone was making fun of like the way it originally looked in the trailer. Cause that Sonic did look terrible. And then like they reanimated it or whatever, which I don't know if that was true or not, or if it was a publicity thing. But like, I think that turned out to be like one of the most profitable like video game movies of all time. Like people ended up liking it.
It's fine. Like they don't like do anything too terrible in it.
Yeah.
Like,
which to be fair, like that's definitely like geared towards kids or whatever.
I mean, like, yeah.
You think that Sonic fan guy liked it, whatever his name was?
The Sonichu guy?
Yeah.
What's interesting about that is,
Maybe.
I ate bought into the whole rabbit hole video like you did. Like going into the rabbit hole of like that guy. And, like,
do you want to like explain? Just like give someone of you guys want to.
If you don't know, Chrisshawn is like this guy. Well, okay, she's a woman now. I don't know her trans name. I don't know what she goes by.
Oh,
I honestly
I didn't know that
because people
she
don't
was trans.
respect it enough, and it's kind of sucky. But Chrisshawn is like this internet person that what people call lolcow, where like people just kind of like use them to make fun of them because they're like weird or cringy or something, and so she is kind of like a terrible person because of reasons. She is on the spectrum. But she was famous for making Sonichu, which is the combination of the best fandoms of Pikachu and Sonic.
That was the channel name, right?
I think he just had a webcomic and sometimes to do vlogs.
Oh, okay. Was that the person that was like real young and was like screaming and defending Sonic?
No,
that's someone else.
Oh, okay. That was that. Who was that?
I don't
Someone
know
else,
their
someone
name.
else. That's what I
It's
said. I
just
didn't know.
Not,
That's who I was thinking.
Christian.
No, Christian is
Gotcha.
But like, it's kind of turned around. Where there's a funny story is there was a person that was like, you know, that person that there's a person on YouTube that documents like a 50 episode documentary on the life of him.
Mm-hmm.
And like the whole meme now is there's a wiki every day of vlog updates of this person. And it's turned around to like that guy, like people started going onto him, the one that was making those 50 episodes, and about him being like on the spectrum, apparently he is as well, and being insecure. So they started making fun of him, and it's kind of like this. It's kind of like
this whole extended universe.
It's
like
become cringe on its own. If you haven't seen that ContraPoints video, that's kind of one of the parts of it. Is like, at what point do you become cringe for pointing out someone who's cringy? Because that's super important. Like, don't you have anything better to do?
Yeah, that's always like, I was one of the terrible kids that like I called everything cringy when I was younger. And like what I kind of learned is like, I do genuinely think in most case scenarios, like there's like objective, like if you're watching like a comedy and they're purposely doing like a cringy like moment, like Scott's Tots episode in The Office, that is objectively cringy. And I think most people would agree. But like, the way a lot of people use cringy, which is like, oh, there's some young kid making a Minecraft video on YouTube. People are like, oh, that's cringy. Like, it's just a kid, dude. Like, leave him alone. Like, you watched the video. Like,
tell me a kid who isn't cringe.
All right, but honestly, like,
Besides,
cringe
like,
culture on the whole is pretty fucking cringe, because like it just makes fun of passion when it doesn't like quite land on the mark.
A kid,
if that makes sense. So then like people start adopting these ideas where they're like, nah, I just won't be passionate or care about anything to avoid being cringe myself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this horrible like, you know, way of thinking. Anyways, you were saying?
Well, I was just gonna say, there's no cringy kids, because the kids that like children that like try not to be cringy, and from an adult's point of view, in my opinion, are cringy as well. Like those kids that like try to be adults are also like in their own way cringy.
That reminds me.
So like every kid, when you're young, you're cringe.
No, yeah, I like what Dan said. Like,
everyone's cringe.
No one is.
Oh my gosh. I don't know why, but that just reminds me out because we're showing our roommate Bora, who's been on the podcast before, My Hero Academia, and we got to the part where they're retaking their exams, the people that failed, and they have to like get those like kids, those problem children kids, to like learn like to be okay with like heroes, I guess, so they don't turn into villains. And one of them was like I was gonna say man child, but that's an entirely different thing. Like it was actually it's like the complete opposite of what I'm thinking. But it was like a kid that was like thought he was better than all the adults and stuff, and he had like gelled hair backwards and stuff as like a freaking 8-year-old. Like
what the Bakugo says to the characters, or like what Ricky says, like if you keep thinking you're on top, you're not able to like
see your own flaws.
Yeah, like you're not able to just like.
And that kid, I loved it. The kid had like the moment, like he was like everything an adult told him or whatever. He's like, yeah, whatever. And he's like, he mentioned that he could tell that like it wasn't just like that character like saying that to say it. He could tell that like that was like from the heart.
Like he truly believed what he was saying.
Yeah, which have to say, My Hero Academia, we've shilled it a million times. Best anime on the planet.
Speaking of shilling, have you by chance heard of this amazing Onion News Network miniseries called Porking Across America? I haven't mentioned it in several months, and I feel the need to
You've just been,
it now.
Like, that's why you haven't been getting much sleep lately, because you haven't had, like, your weekly
I've been dreaming of pork.
You take a shot every morning and every night.
Yeah, just a bit of pig's blood to keep the cravings.
The thing is, no one's seen it. So like we should make a reference to it.
People have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about, but that's
won't
why
know
I'm telling
until
people
they
to
look
watch
it up. Yeah.
All 50 of our viewers or whatever. No, we don't even get that many. Please watch it, dear God. It's so fucking good.
It's it's decent. I'm gonna stop like shitting on it to shit on it. It is entertaining.
The thing is, Daniel, you risk the more you hype something up. There's no.
I don't know if it can live up to the hype.
The problem with
point.
hype is there's no limit.
Okay,
the more you hype something up,
yeah.
the more people think it's probably going to be. I'm just saying that. Like, that's the problem.
Well,
you think
I'm not hyping. I'm shilling.
You're
I'm
shilling.
just saying it's great. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's entertaining and dark, which is what I like in my comedy.
I was making more of an observation off your point because I just realized that while talking to you was that like there's no like cap.
Yeah, to hype.
I'm thinking of a certain game that came out this year last year.
What, Cyberpunk?
Yeah, of like that game is like pretty well made. It's just the hype was somehow way more than it could have been, and also bugs. That's another thing. But
I still don't think that game has come out on the consoles. I think they still haven't.
I mean, they released the game like way before it should have been.
Oh yeah, and to be fair, in their defense, I'm actually going to defend CD Projekt Red here. They were supposed to release a patch, but they got hacked, and the hacker stole a bunch of like code and all of this stuff, and like all this stuff, and CD Projekt Red was like, yeah, we don't negotiate with terrorists or whatever.
The older
the
more companies just sort of blend together as being the same. Where like I had that in mind where like these are really corporations that try to fuck you over. These are the ones that like we still want your money, but like they at least make good shit. And then there's the ones that are wholesome. But like I think 95% of these corporations are still what they are. Like,
well, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna blame that on shareholders. Honestly, any company that has shareholders is gonna be the exact same.
Yeah, when you make it public like that, they don't
like the only goal of the company isn't to provide quality product or to provide for people or their workers. It's just for making more money.
And you have to keep making more and more and more money.
Yes, infinite growth is a sustainable and good idea.
Okay, I'm gonna put on my beret, my red beret here, and to talk about politics for a second. So people say like capitalism and like corporations are good because the money drives like innovation and like hyper specialized people that are good at what they're doing. But then when you introduce public sharing like that, like public buying like that, you just get a bunch of rich people that want to milk the thing out of it. And some of them I know what they're thinking and talking about. Yeah. But like it seems like a lot of time it's just like, oh, just throw PogChamp in there. And kids like PogChamp, right? And then they're like, no, PogChamp, no, just do it. Just do it. And then like
a lot of the business leaders of this world aren't business leaders because of some magical sense that just participating in the free market gets them. They're leaders because they have a lot of money. And if you have a lot of money, you're going to keep a lot of money and make a lot more money.
I think that's exactly how that fucking Burger King thing went down. That happened in recent news.
Do you want me to explain it? Do you want to explain it? Okay, yeah. It was pretty much just international. We're in International Women's Month, and it was International Women's Day a couple days before recording this, which happy International Women's Day and Women's Month, everyone out there.
Happy International Women's Month.
And yeah, so... Oh, Matthew hates women. Yeah. Canceled.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, but
men, stand by.
Stand back and stand by. But Burger King on International Women's Day tweeted out, "Women belong in the kitchen," and then they replied to their comment saying like, "Oh, there is an inequality of like women in like cook positions. That's why we're doing a whole sponsorship or a scholarship for women in kitchens and stuff like that." But the main tweet that 99% of people saw was "Women belong in the kitchen."
No, that was intentional.
That for sure.
Abso-fucking-lutely was.
And I mean, to be fair, like it got a bunch of publicity and stuff like that. But I shout out to, I was watching the Philip DeFranco show where he was talking about it, and apparently because they also took out a like ad on the New York Times or something, like a big newspaper, like a front page ad that like he said only cost like $250,000, and it said like women belong in the kitchen, and then it was a little better because it was in a whole ad. Like if they had like said like women belong in the kitchen ... because of, you know, blah, blah, it would have been okay. But there was the fact that it was totally hidden. But in the printed ad, there was like fine text that said, yeah, we provided two women with $25,000 scholarships. So they spent $250,000 advertising that they gave away $50,000 to 2 people. Like,
what the fuck?
It's literally like charity. I don't know what the term for it is, but like charity publicity, where you like give away a little bit of money and then you advertise 10 times that amount of money. That, hey, you're good. That's like the people on YouTube that are filming themselves giving like money to homeless people.
So that's what I was saying with like, that's exactly what something like probably like some guy, like some investors were like, it's been International Women's Day, let's do something. And
but you want to know what's sad though? We are talking about Burger King.
yeah, no.
And like
That's
people
the
are now
problem.
listening to us talk about Burger King.
Yeah.
Where we
happened
would
with
not have
fucking-
anyways.
Remember
Like,
IHOP?
okay, but that was good. I will fist fight you. That was a great publicity
You're
stunt.
gonna fight me over IHOP? Are you serious?
Yeah, that was like honestly one of the. Okay, for
that-
anyone,
is that-
anyone that doesn't have
Alright,
context, do you want to explain what this one was?
No. I just want to go a bit back. Like the difference between a good publicity stunt and a bad one. Like IHOP, that's not fucking hurting anyone.
Oh, yeah.
Saying women belong in the kitchen on like International Women's History. Was it just
International
during
Day.
the month?
No, it was the
during
day.
the
It was the
day.
day. It was the day.
During the day, it's just like this blatant disrespect. So like, I don't think all publicity stunts are inherently bad.
There's bad and there's dumb, and I think IHOP is just dumb.
Okay, no, I will fist fight you, dude. Okay, so for anyone that
Well, it's
doesn't
kinda
know, IHOP at one point did a publicity stunt like a year or two ago where they
know
were
about
like,
this
everybody,
one.
we're changing our name from IHOP to IHOB with like a B, like they turned the P
This is so
upside down
recent. People
because
know about this.
they were like, I don't know. I mean, we still, but yeah. Long story short, they were just trying to showcase that they do burgers and other stuff at IHOP. I think that was like one of the best publicity stunts out there recently.
Watch like people are like watching our archived podcasts, and they didn't actually like they're young kids, so they actually didn't know much.
You gotta have evergreen content, Matthew. Evergreen.
Back in my day, IHOP was called IHOB.
And
You
the
know how crazy-
dystopian future that awaits us, it will be IHOB. We're gonna have to explain what IHOP was.
Speaking of that, like, you know how crazy it is just the fact that we've lived like at least consciously through the like early 2000s. Like that was probably our like childhood technically.
Mm-hmm.
So like most kids don't even know what the fuck like a flip had to do with a flip phone before.
Oh yeah, that's literally
That was just like us specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And like.
Dude, I mean, even like when like in 100, 200 years, people are gonna be like social media. Like, I mean, dude, it's crazy to think about. Like,
Dude, like it's kind of
sorry.
Oh, it's kind of weird. Like around the time of our generation was like one of the last, I think, groups of like at least American where the technology is distributed, or American in like other countries, of course. Where was I going with that? Oh, it's one of the last few generations where like we weren't completely enveloped by the internet, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't
didn't-
everywhere, but right now it's everywhere.
because
That's not a good
It was
thing
still
or a bad
super
thing.
like cool and scary and big and part of everything, but like to us that's what it felt like, and that's probably what it felt like to the people in the 90s as well. And like we're like, that's old shit. Look at this now, and then now it's like, oh
yeah, but it still happened when we were like teenagers, though. Like that like we
Yeah,
all
we
probably
did
got
still
exposed
grow
to
up
it.
with
Yeah,
it.
but like we didn't grow up like. Because
Early
like now
childhood.
nowadays I don't want to be like the whole like back in my day, but like back in my day I had like a leapfrog.
You want to talk about landlines? Did either of your house?
We didn't have a landline.
we had a landline.
I know
My
Dan
house
did.
had a landline.
I was so pissed when they took it out. And they're like, you have a cell phone. Just call people. And then we have to like memorize phone
I was so bothered
you just
by
put
the
it in
fact
there.
that there wasn't a home phone anymore. But now everyone having
It
cell
really
phones
doesn't
it's-
matter.
Yeah.
When you think about it, like you think it should work, but then like when you think about it, like every time you have to give it a phone call, you have to like memorize who like you give to who.
Oh yeah, because there's no contacts on the.
Yeah.
Or no, there were. Your phone had contacts, I think. Your
Well,
home
yeah,
phone?
there's contacts, but like if you're giving if you have a cell phone, like you would always have to be like, all right, give the family ones this one and call this one, and then like.
I remember using the landline so much because like Justin and I were playing Wizard 101 and I was using the landline because we didn't know about like any chat things, and this is long before the days of easy shit like Discord.
Mhm.
Like shit, I forgot.
We got like overcharged times like 5 or some shit on our phone bill because like I had used so many minutes.
because you would use that as
I would use that. Yeah, we eventually moved to Ventrilo, but
And then I remember
Yeah.
we moved to TeamSpeak, and then Discord.
Yeah.
I still
Man.
miss the mute button beatboxing on Ventrilla. It's hard to explain what it is exactly if you haven't experienced it.
I know on TeamSpeak I downloaded a mod, an add-on. I don't know what the term would be
it's
for a
fun
software,
for TeamSpeak.
but it was where every time someone joined or left a channel, like an announcer would be like, Daniel joined or Daniel left. But I replaced it with GLaDOS. So GLaDOS, like from Portal, would talk.
God, this is a period in time. This is like a section of my life of like first getting a computer and like trying desperately to get the internet to work of like my place and trying to play games with people.
Do you remember when we all discovered Cleverbot or whatever? It was like this. It's like this chatbot, like AI thing. And we were all like, I don't know, 10 or 11. We were
young.
horny little boys, dude. It was just literally
No,
all we would do
half
would
the
like try to
shit
get her to
would be-
say.
people would be- I did it a lot at first, and then after a while I'm like, okay, it just blushes. Like that's all it does. Once you figure out what the AI does, it gets a lot more boring.
Yeah, Cleverbot. I mean, was a very rudimentary. I mean, it's still impressive. Don't
It's
get me
very
wrong.
impressive,
But-
but it can't hold a thought or conversation more than like 2 or 3 lines, and then immediately will just ask you a relevant thing and like.
Yeah, but I mean, no, I remember Dan had a birthday party or something. At one point, you were like having a bunch of people over at your house, and literally like 80% of the time, the entire party, we were just on your computer on Cleverbot,
Yep.
like fucking around on
Because
Cleverbot.
that was the shit at the time.
Oh my gosh, that also reminds me of
Bro,
like
Akinator?
oh,
I still like it on my
Yes,
phone.
yeah.
It's way better than all those other dumb gimmicks because it's still impressive. Like it's how it works. Like it's so genius when you think about how it works.
You want to just explain what Akinator is? Just
Is this a horror?
It's just 20 questions.
yeah, it's 20 questions, but for like people, I guess. But like what's cool is like you could do like YouTubers, you could do like
it's
fictional.
how it
pretty
works.
much
I'm assuming
anything
it's
in the
like a
public
wiki
conscious.
basically.
What?
It's like a wiki as a 20 questions game.
Yeah.
Where it just every time if it doesn't know something, it doesn't guess it.
Mm-hmm.
It'll just ask you to put it in, and then like it's very interesting.
Man, it's just speaking about all these like old timey like things. That reminds me of like because we just had like a laptop is what I would use, but my parents, I wasn't allowed to have like a TV or a laptop in my bedroom, so I had to have it on the desk out in the front room, and I was constantly grounded as a kid. I was such a shit kid, and man, dude, I'm dying apparently. But I remember I would constantly like sneak playing Binding of Isaac, like even when I was grounded, and I was right up next to the front window. So every time like my dad would like go, and then like I would like alt tab like when he walked by or whatever. And then I remember one time like he like came up, like I think he suspected like I was doing something. So he walked outside and he waited for a couple minutes. And then like, I alt tab back in and I'm playing the games. And then he like peeks right in the window, like right next to me, seeing me like play or whatever. And like, I don't know, I got caught so many times. I remember one time I was like trying to be like, no, I'm just watching a YouTube video. And he's like, why is nothing happening in the game then if you're watching a YouTube video? And I was like, because it's paused. Like,
That's why it's still animated, of course.
Yeah, man. Those were the days. I just played 100 billion hours of Binding of Isaac.
Dude, I remember getting neighborhood kids together to recreate like Left 4 Dead because none of us could play Left 4 Dead because all of our parents were like, yeah, no, that game is about like shooting people and shit, and you're like 8, which yeah, understandable. So we just like get our fucking Nerf guns and or role play that shit. I LARPed when I was younger, and I have just exposed that.
LARPing,
That's unfortunate.
it's the opposite. It's the LARPing is just kids playing, but as adults. Like every kid like LARPs.
All right,
at some
yeah,
point,
I
right?
see what you're talking
Well,
about.
We just grow out of
I
it.
think like when you say the term LARP,
Well, like
that-
that specifically is a game. It's
it
specifically
entices.
yeah. No, don't get me. I'm more
Oh,
saying
gotcha.
like you're saying, oh god, I LARPed as a kid. I'm like, well, every kid like did the whole pretend to be something
Yeah.
and hit imaginary things for like 30 minutes.
You want to know a whole nother level of like of something like cringy I did as a kid? We wanted to start up like an actual like LARP like thing in like middle school or something with like foam swords and all that stuff. And we were trying to get everyone to do it, and we printed a whole contract that I had wrote as a kid that was like, we're not responsible if you get hurt, we're not responsible if
This
your
is the cool
equipment gets
shit.
damaged.
I like the idea of you presenting that to whatever parent like bring their broken kid nose, the kid with the broken nose.
It's just like 10-year-old me is like, dude, sign the contract.
like
I don't know what to
covered
tell
in
you. Oh my gosh, man, those are it's crazy like how.
Do you show up
that
to
works.
like the meeting of like being in trouble with the bats to intimidate witnesses?
Yes, I do.
He was, hard back in middle school. It was,
I did
kill or be killed.
cocaine off my 2nd grade teacher's tits.
Were you 8 at the time?
Don't make me fucking imagine that.
Who was the real victim here?
Who was? Oh yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
that
this
would
is
be-
kinda
that-
like
that would
a,
be me.
That's literally that episode of It's Always Sunny where Dennis reminisces about his first time with the librarian when he was in high school. Everyone's like, dude, that's not okay. And he's like, no, it was beautiful. And he was like,
No, that's rape.
it was so bad.
Oh my gosh, no. I remember I had the first time I went to public because for like kindergarten through 1st grade, which I guess is only 2 grades, I went to like a Montessori school. And so I started going to elementary public school in 2nd grade. And I remember my first teacher I had was like this.
Were you a monk?
Yes. And the first teacher I got was some crabby old lady named, I don't remember what she was named, but she was a crabby old lady. And
No, I think I know who you're
I-
talking
I'm imagining
about.
the
Or
visual.
2nd grade, right?
yeah, it was 2nd grade. I think we had the
Miss
same.
No.
No, it was.
Was it Miss Peacock?
No,
Whatever
it was
her name
not.
was?
It was not. I don't remember what her
she
name was.
She was pretty mean.
I don't know her
I remember sitting. She was like, "Okay, so everyone, I want you to sit cross-legged and put your hands in between your legs, and then I'll dismiss you to go one at a time." And she was calling people out one at a time, and I had my hands back like I was sitting back like that. I was just waiting, and she waited there with me for like 5 to 10 minutes before I was like, what do I need to do? I want to go be with my friends. And she's like, put your hands in your lap. I'm like, why the fuck did you not tell me that again? It's quite clear after the first minute that I missed out on something there.
Like there are those mean teachers you thought of as a kid that were like, oh, you were just probably being a dick. Like you were being the annoying one probably. And then there's those teachers you're like, no, she was just mean. Like unnecessarily mean to kids. Like or like there's those like teachers and moms with that like drill sergeant thing where they're like, we need you to obey our orders and that's what we're going to make you do. So we're going to like throw in these dumb little things that don't actually matter, but we want to make sure you obey them. But it just makes the kid angrier.
Oh yeah,
If anything, you're just making them not want to follow you more.
something that what the teachers did in our elementary school that was like worse than anything that happens in Guantanamo Bay.
That's a claim.
Was
Hot take. Okay.
was that if you got in trouble doing whatever, they made you do laps at recess. And so like everyone's playing and the good teachers would be like, okay, you have to do 5 laps, which like you could be like, okay, that's going to be about 5 to 10 minutes. I'll still have 10 minutes, 15 minutes of recess. But then there would be the motherfucking teachers that would be like, you're going to do laps until I tell you so. And like, so you wouldn't know. And there would be times, because I got in trouble a lot as a kid. And there would be times I'd be walking and they would forget about me. And I'd just be walking, and then recess is over.
You were lost in the system.
Yeah.
No, that's
and if
so
you
different. I know what you're
ask-
talking about.
If you ask, like, hey, what's going on? Like, how much
That's an
longer?
offense.
They're like, nope, you're going to keep doing, don't ask again. Like,
If cops act the way those teachers do, I would hate to be.
man, I also remember one time we had some trading card thing where it wasn't a game, but we all just like made cool like cards. We drew art and like named them and we were trading them and it was real fun. And we were waiting to be going home. Like we were in the gymnasium like waiting to be picked up from our parents. But that was apparently not okay. And I remember some teacher came and confiscated mine and I never got them back.
Wait, I remember that. Yeah.
I never got
drawing
back.
What the fuck was her problem?
Dude, I don't know,
You
dude.
see kids
Wait, what
play-
did she take?
Like we had all these custom made like trading cards that we made and we were trading with each other.
Oh!
And she just took mine. Like we weren't in class doing anything. We were literally like, you know how we would be in the gymnasium, like waiting, sitting in roll call, like waiting to be picked up, like from our parents.
What the? Why?
And I remember I asked her like a month later, and if my memory is remembering, she was like, "Oh, I don't know where they went." So She probably just threw them away. Like, honestly, like that's.
I don't know why she took them. Like, why would she take them?
What did she gain?
I don't know. Like, maybe we
She
were
probably
being
thought you were trying to
loud.
sell them or to do trading dumb shit.
I remember one of the first times I slept over at your house, Matthew. We were playing Steam games on our laptop, and I think, like, you know, we were broke as hell. But that was when Steam started doing the Steam trading cards, which, if you don't know, it's just like if you play games that have trading cards, you can get a couple of them and you can sell them on the Steam market for like 10 cents or something. But you could only sell 200 things a year, otherwise you had to put in your tax information. And my parents would not let me put my tax information into this weird thing called Steam. And so I was like, yo, Matthew, like, can I just like send you my trading cards, you sell them, and give me the game? You know, and I think your mom overheard.
And she didn't want me doing it because you were just like.
Yeah, no, it was justified to her, but she thought like I was like trying to like sell you real trading cards and like have you go to a trading book, like something like that. Like, thought I was like trying to scam you or something. I still cringe to that day. I think about that like once every 2 months.
You could have had a successful career as a Wall Street criminal.
How many times like you would try to make me relay information, something you wanted because you just.
What do you mean, like?
Well, because so like any guest, you don't want to be the one to ask for things, but you like sometimes would ask for a lot because you wanted to say over a lot. So you'd always be like, "Hey, can you tell them this?" And then like you say it.
That sounds
and
like
it's like, "Hey," and I'd be like, "Hey, all wants to know what their snacks." Like, no, don't say my name. I'm like, why does it matter? You're the one that said it. You're the one that wants snacks. I was always so confused. I was just like, it's not that big of a deal to want snacks. Or like something like, it was just always like every small thing. You were like making it like a fucking like whisper campaign.
I was gonna have like a whole.
Yeah.
You were playing like this Machiavellian game. Well, Matthew and I over here were like sipping on juice boxes.
Dude, apparently I was a problem child. I'll tell you that.
I mean,
I know.
I was a little shit too.
I mean, yeah, we're all little shits to some degree.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think it was maybe something you said, Daniel, at some point in the past. I don't know, but like it's just like kids are literally just like
psychopaths until they learn empathy.
I just think certain traits in people, like when they're underdeveloped as kids, are just way more toxic than others. Like extroverts are going to be more than introverts.
Like super extra pushy.
And introverts are never, usually not. There's no correlation really, but.
Yeah, I remember when we were growing up, like, cause we were all obviously childhood friends that have known each other since, you know, real young. And, I remember like, I'm like a huge extrovert and like Matthew's a real big introvert. And so like having to deal with that as a kid, like, I don't know how we got through that, but like we literally like.
But I think it's just the problem was like, I don't even think I'm that introverted. I just think you're so extroverted that you somehow like kind of bounce me back a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah.
I think I naturally like being alone, and then like as a kid I didn't get to hang out as much because I think I had Daniel who we would hang out with, but through periods of time like didn't, and then Corey just found other people he seemed just more interested in at the time, and so like so I was always like, and then like you came along and you were like always wanting to hang out like every week, and I was like for a while I was like, okay, but we could do this every weekend though. And you always want to stay out like 4 hours longer than I usually did. And so like it was just like every time. Like and then that's probably what
I mean, like
happened.
Different social
it's
you know?
Yeah. It's just I wasn't used to that at that point. And then that kind of like
would you consider yourself more like introvert or extrovert?
Very much more introverted. I hate to admit it, but there were times when you would ask to sleep over, since we're talking about childhood stuff. When we were younger, and I would be like, "Hey, can you say no to something real quick, Dad?" It didn't happen fucking often, but like.
No, I did it a couple times because I'm just like, I just do not want to hang out right now.
No, I mean I don't blame you. I mean, especially like as a kid, like when we have infinite free time, like I just wanted to
because I think one of the problems is being an introvert is how you prioritize time. Like most like extroverts, they see the hanging out as the relaxing. Like I'm gonna work, I'm gonna hang out with my friends. But like with an introvert, it's like you got to do. All right, I'm gonna work, I'm gonna hang out with my friends, and then I'm gonna do this others. Like do my me time.
Yeah.
So like it's like you don't see it as like winding down. If anything, you're having fun, you're enjoying it, but you're still having to like.
I remember like I think one analogy that really made me like realize like it when I was younger was like the whole battery analogy where it's like
Yeah,
an
no, that helps a
introvert
lot.
charges their battery by being alone, but like an extrovert charges their.
Mostly because there's no real like connection to like actual sociability. Like you can be like a pretty good talking to with people, but then like not really like want to ever
Still be like an introvert, yeah.
Or you can be like really awkward but just want to hang out a lot. I can see that.
Yeah.
That's all.
Man, that dude, it's crazy like how fast time flies. I mean, like, yeah, like it's been like I said, I was looking at my Snapchat story because it'll tell you, you know, it'll be like, oh, a year ago today. And yeah, I think like a week or two ago, it was like a year ago, like I had put on my Snapchat story like, hey, we're doing like a podcast. Like and yeah, we all look so different. Yeah. It's crazy how much we change and how we look even in a year, honestly.
Yeah.
I guess a year now from now I'm still losing weight, but like a couple of years from now I was like that UTD photo that's only like a couple of years old, but like I look way fatter in that.
Oh yeah, no,
how much weight I lost. Like it's so evident, and in the beard, I'm like a different person. I'm not different now. I'm not that different, but if I did something with my hair, then I would definitely it would just be a whole new thing. But I don't do things with my hair.
I think that there's like some new thing where like, or just pretty much like the equivalent of like a Snapchat filter, but like you point at someone and if they have like a beard, it like gets rid of the beard. And like I keep seeing TikToks of like people do it to like their boyfriends that have like you know just crazy facial hair and they look like just babies. And I mean I know it's probably because the filter is like just doing it, but it is so funny. Like,
dude, I feel like I look like an infant whenever I shave. Like
I've seen Jacob shave actually.
Jacob looks pretty young, well shaven.
Yeah,
but
Jacob.
like,
It's so noticeable. It's so weird. Like even watching this podcast pre-beard was weird to me.
Yeah.
I had short hair back when we started the podcast.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, did you have a beard when we first started, or I can't remember.
I think I didn't have a mustache, but I did have a beard.
Gotcha. Okay. That's yeah, man. It's crazy to go down like memory lane like this and stuff like that. But well, I it's probably like you know I feel like we're at a good stopping point and stuff like that.
I would agree.
But man, I hope you guys enjoyed you know kind of listening to us just be old-timey folk and be like, oh, back in my day.
We're goddamn old men.
But I think it was a ton of fun, and you know, definitely stay on the lookout for more of these because you know none of us have COVID. The power grid also, okay, I just want to say the power grid apparently, I don't know if you guys heard it, we were like 4 minutes and 44 seconds or something away from being like a month-long blackout.
Oh yeah, the engineers PogChamp, dude. Like they went like
it was crazy. So yeah, so we're not in a snowstorm that we can't handle, and we don't have COVID. So hopefully expect more podcasts from us going forth, whether you're listening or watching. We definitely appreciate you guys. So I guess until next time, we'll see you guys later.
Goodbye.
Bye.